Pancake, everyone! Did you know that there are machines that harvest flowers? But we'll talk about that later. Today we have a list of unique harvesters for various crops. Let's get started. Speaking of flowers, harvesting them should be a delightful experience. However, when it comes to industrial-scale flower fields, manual harvesting becomes impractical and costly. Imagine the vast tulip fields in the Netherlands. Trying to harvest those hectares by hand would require a massive workforce, leading to higher costs and consequently more expensive bouquets. This is where a harvester comes in. It's simple, convenient, and fast. The harvester is equipped with a special stem cutting mechanism, using a sharp blade to carefully cut the flower without damaging the bud or bulb. But just cutting the flower is not enough. It also needs to be gently transported to the storage area. For this purpose, the harvester has a device that secures the flower, preventing it from falling or getting deformed. One notable representative of such machines is the Romanian Pink innovation. Its main mechanism is a drum with blades that cut the stems, which are then laid on both sides of the harvester for further manual collection. It's easy to operate, low maintenance, and comes at an affordable price, making farmers happy. However, as you noticed, Pink innovation still requires some manual labor. Other models from different companies can offer conveyor belts or vacuum tubes for flower picking. In the case of the latter, the risk of damaging the buds is minimized. Besides flowers, special harvesters have been designed for picking oranges, primarily to reduce labor costs. Orange trees are tall, and manually climbing up and down to collect oranges can be tedious and time-consuming. To address this, the American manufacturer Oxbo introduced an innovative complex consisting of a harvester and two trailers, which are moved by tractors. How does it work? The harvester, powered by a 170 horsepower engine and equipped with special fingers about 2 meters long, moves between the trees and gently shakes the branches. After this simple procedure, the fruits fall into the lower conveyor, which then transfers the oranges to a specific container for storage. Along the way, the conveyor also clears away any debris. This seemingly simple system allows for the harvesting of about 95% of the crop. A pair of these harvesters can pick up to 450 tons of oranges per day, processing one tree in just 8 to 10 seconds. This significantly reduces labor hours and consequently expenses. Oranges may require specialized harvesters, but there are even more delicate crops that present further challenges. Even for harvesting seemingly robust sweet peppers on an industrial scale, multiple stages of work are involved. And as we've learned, the more stages and human involvement, the more expensive the product becomes in stores. To address this, the Italian company Guaresi SPA created the Guaresi G 8993 harvester, which combines all the stages of crop harvesting. The machine makes a clean cut, removing any debris such as stones or leaves. Later, workers manually sort the peppers. As you can see, despite concerns, robots cannot entirely replace humans, or can they? We'll find out shortly. Now let's discuss the delicate task of tomato harvesting. Tomatoes can be so fragile that a clumsy touch can cause them to crack, bruise, or face some other mishap. And when you need to process thousands of plants and hectares of land to obtain as many undamaged tomatoes as possible, it becomes quite challenging. Of course, Italian engineers excelled in creating a harvester for such delicate work. The Guaresi company developed a special machine capable of harvesting tomatoes from 2 rows of plants simultaneously. Here is how it works. In one pass between the rows, the machine cuts the tomato bushes. There are 2 possible scenarios. Fallen tomatoes go onto a sorting table, while those caught inside the harvester, along with the plants, are sent to the fruit separator. Special sensors on the separator read the tomato color, distinguishing ripe ones from green, and discard the unripe tomatoes back into the field. Guaresi's harvester is usually equipped with engines ranging from 175 to 238 horsepower, enabling it to reach speeds of up to 27 km per hour. It also complies with Euro 4 eco requirements, allowing the harvester to be driven on public roads. This harvester has a capacity of up to 80 tons of tomatoes per hour. Tomatoes are covered. Now let's talk about what Italians love even more – olives, of course. In small farms, olives are still hand-harvested, but again, this is not always practical. Despite the delicacy and care required during olive harvesting, engineers from Pellenc managed to develop a remarkably gentle harvester. Pellenc's unique machine can handle trees with a width of about 2 meters and a height of up to 4.5 meters. The harvester adapts to the specific characteristics of the soil. The process involves 2 stages. First, the harvester shakes the tree from below, then from above. The fruits are cleared of branches and leaves. Later, pneumatic equipment comes into play, sorting the olives. The pneumatic system ensures a gentle harvest, as the olives do not come into contact with the container walls, ensuring they remain intact until they reach the storage. With the help of this pneumatic wonder, operated by just one person, up to 10 hectares can be processed per day, collecting up to 16 tons of olives per hour. As the manufacturer modestly notes, this harvester achieves the perfect balance between size and usefulness. But what's happening in the wine industry, which jealously preserves its traditions? Particularly in winemaking, harvesting grape raw material is considered a complex art in this field. Just think about it. To create wine with a specific taste, only juice from berries with precisely the right characteristics should go into the bottle. This is determined by specific amounts of sugar, acids, and of course water. And this balance is influenced by everything, from the time of harvest to the weather. For instance, in hot weather, grapes should be harvested only in the morning or evening, because during the day, the berries have too much sugar and too little water. Some grape varieties are not harvested during rainy weather, as the excess water negatively affects them. We got carried away, but you understood the general idea. Grape harvesting for winemaking is quite complicated. However, modern technologies have reached even this conservative market, and not just recently. Of course, when it comes to elite champagne wines, manual labor is essential, and it does affect the price of a bottle of genuine champagne. However, in more straightforward farms in France, Spain, or Chile, grape harvesters have long been used to collect grapes from vast territories. In fact, up to 80% of grape raw materials worldwide are harvested by harvesters, and the technologies keep improving year by year. For example, while models like Broad's SDC shaking system with flexible rear bar mount gently shake the vines, separate the grapes and carefully place them into Noria baskets, researchers at Davis University have developed a contactless solution for vineyards. Their prototype uses automatic sensors to collect only ripe berries. Thanks to the mechanical grape harvesting, good wine becomes more accessible, especially the one produced in hot regions. With such a harvester, a single farmer can collect grapes at night when it's not hot. In contrast, workers would have to be paid extra for night shifts. Economists have calculated that this technology helps reduce farmers' expenses from $1 with manual labor to 7 cents. We got carried away with grapes, but it's no wonder. Everything related to winemaking always seems mysterious and fascinating. But what about strawberries? Stop. Did you think that strawberries from markets and stores are hand-harvested? Perhaps in countries where labor is cheap. But what about Spain? That's why they developed a super gentle harvester for picking garden strawberries. The Agrobot machine evaluates the color and ripeness of the berries and their market appearance in real time. Of course, this strawberry picking robot cannot handle vast hectares, but it's been estimated that in 3 days it can process 800 acres of land. The researchers haven't counted how many strained backs and knee joints have been saved thanks to it. Now let's talk about how berries and fruits that can't be simply shaken from the trees are harvested. Not by human hands, but rather with robotic ones. For instance, the company FR Robotics has developed a robot that mimics human movements, adjusting its hand to pick specific fruit. And despite the logical question, if the robot is just imitating a human, does it provide any benefits? Perhaps it's equally slow? Well, no. During a work shift, the machine collects 10 times more fruits than an average worker. The practicality of this particular robot is hard to overestimate. Since it can be used to harvest various fruits and berries, it won't be limited to just 1 or 2 seasons. It can be employed for several harvest seasons. The Belgians from Octicon went even further and set up hands made of soft plastic for the robot, allowing to assess the maturity of the berry, gently pick it with 2 fingers, rotate it 90 degrees to detach it from the branch, and then place it in the basket. Despite the lengthy description, the entire process takes the robot just 4 seconds. Yes, it's currently just a prototype undergoing testing, but the results are already impressive. Depending on the variety, the robot can selectively pick from 70 to 100% of ripe berries or fruits. But that's not all. How about a robot that uses computer vision algorithms to locate ripe apples and, like a vacuum cleaner, collects them without damaging the fruits? Its picking speed is 1 apple per second. The plan was to develop a feature for recognizing spoiled apples and expand its functionality to include picking other types of fruits and vegetables. However, the abundant robotics startup did not survive until 2022. Their developments were acquired by Waverly Labs. Let's see if they can make it even better. Alright, we've covered berries, fruits, and even ventured into the rare spheres of agriculture, such as grapes and olives. It's doubtful we can still surprise you. Wait a minute, how about a combine harvester for pumpkin seeds? Yes, that's right. Specialized machines for harvesting seeds, not massive pumpkins. You heard that correctly. In this narrow field of agricultural machinery, the Australian company Moti has excelled. The process is organized as follows. Drums with 10 rows of needles pick up the pumpkins from the field. The fruits are broken by a crusher, and semicircular bars separate the seeds from the flesh. The harvester has protection against stones. The cargo container can hold around 1.8 tons of cleaned and sorted seeds, while the waste becomes excellent fertilizer for the soil. Before we move on to prototypes and combine harvesters from sci-fi films, let's show a few more devices designed not for harvesting but for increasing and improving yields. For example, the salad thinner from Ramsay Highlander. In order to avoid doing this manually and reduce farmers' costs, a computerized machine was presented in 2013. It uses specialized optical sensors to determine the need for thinning. The company didn't stop there and created a unique lettuce harvester that uses a high-pressure water jet for cutting. And the next device might seem strange, but as experience has shown, flamers can indeed greatly help in achieving larger yields. That's why Flame Engineering invented the Red Dragon row crop flamers, which are used for weeding fields with fire. The company specialists claim that this is a very effective way to get rid of unwanted plants between the rows of crops or in a seeded field. It's quite simple. A row of 16 burners emits flames at 1400 degrees Fahrenheit. Such temperatures instantly evaporate the moisture in the wheat stems, turning them into excellent mineral fertilizers. So here we are. We promised to tell you about agricultural machinery that looks like it's taken straight from a sci-fi film. And the moment has come. The Deuterium tractor. Designer and engineer Prithu Paul plans for this futuristic, completely new type of tractor to hit the market in 2025. It doesn't feel right to call it an ordinary tractor, but yes, according to the plans, this tractor will be adapted for 24/7 fieldwork and will be equipped with a computer, navigation system and other technologies that will allow it to work autonomously around the clock without stopping. After all, continuous operation will help reduce the cost of the end product. Solar panels will be installed on the tractor's body to provide it with energy, and in case of bad weather, it will have fuel cells working on hydrogen. Among its useful features, the tractor will be able to move in any direction, have increased stability, and will be equipped with night vision cameras and a GPS navigation system. And that's all for now. We hope we've convinced you that agriculture is just as evolving and dynamic as any other aspect of human life. Don't go far, we're already preparing new videos for you.